clock tower of the Wrigley Building. There's another two up on the left corresponding to the AMA Plaza by Mies van der Rohe. When you come into a neighborhood with a new building, you don't want to overpower it. You want to be part of the landscape. So those setbacks do that. Now look to your left. Jeannie Gang, once again, her first skyscraper, Aqua Towers. On our left, that's the building with the crazy curvy balconies.
On the boat right now, so I'm going to be doing pretty much a lot of showing this.
Did you? There's Lake Point Tower right there. Yeah. My girl.
Lower Wacker Drive, right into the basement. Your car was lifted by a state-of-the-art automobile elevator, secure. Now, security was a bit of an issue, friends. This was prohibition. Alcohol was illegal, but I'll tell you a secret. The city of Chicago was never dry. You could have a drink in an illegal tavern known as a speakeasy. You needed to have a special password. Ford never did like squares, hence the curvilinear design of his Marina City towers. Architecture reflected that, massive and streamlined at the same time. You were looking at the largest structure in America prior to completion, the Pentagon. 4,600 windows, 7.5 miles of hallways. They had to give the building its own zip code. And can you believe it? The Marshall Field Department Store commissioned this building back in 1930 for $32 million back then. They dreamed of a giant wholesale market, woke up to the Great Depression, had to sell it for only $13.5. 1945, who could afford it? Joe Kennedy, father of our late president and senators. And I'll tell you what Joe Kennedy did with that building on the way back. Right now. So in the last 5 years, everybody did. Look at 150 North and say, ooh, can you get this shot? That's a Chicago postcard right there. L train going by 150 New River Point building that who put in softer, a little bit gentler than pure modernism, get away from the harshness of the metal. Cladding it in concrete, still emphasizing the structure. Now in the 70s, when that international style really took off, I bet I could put you on a jet and blindfold you and drop you in any major city on any planet around the world. You wouldn't know where you were. I took my tour. I found out the White Castle restaurant design and 311 South Wacker were both modeled after the water tower, your visitor center, which escaped the fire. So when you get over to Michigan and Chicago, look for something like this, only in yellow. Ask them if they have it in yellow and you'll find it. Gaze up at the sheer face.
This has been a very nice day. It is so nice out. The boat ride was really gorgeous. And we're having some music here at the Navy Pier. I guess it's starting up. It's starting up. Or is that somebody's car? Too loud. Okay. See you next trip.
Is married to the soaring vertical height and the glass curtain wall of modernism. I kind of love this building because you know what? It's two buildings in one. By day, you notice the mirrored, the modern sheer face. Come back after dark. Those mirrors disappear. Theatrical lighting fixtures on the pilasters illuminate them, and you're under the impression you are looking at some mystical, stretched out hollow Greek temple. If I come downtown after midnight and look at this building, I swear I can hear the Oracle at Delphi yet again. 35 West Wacker Drive with its checkerboard finish is home to our largest advertising firm, the Leo Burnett Company. Irish-born architect Kevin Roche with this 1989 building, perhaps giving a nod to Louis Sullivan's Chicago School ideal, building as Greek colony. Hey, the Leo Burnett building got a bit of publicity in 2014 when Nick Walinda of the famous circus family, the Flying Walindas, strung a high wire, a tightrope wire, from Marina City West across the river to Leo Burnett. I was on the river that day. Of the 1960s, I am in rebellion against the straight line. I refuse to remake humanity in the image of a machine. Turning to nature, River City came to him as a snake. And it would have looked like a serpent. It was never finished. You see, this building was supposed to go 5 buildings, so look all the way down to the next bridge. I'll tell you what, man, free thinker, dancing to a different drummer. He colored outside the lines, and I think you could maybe see the influence of the greatest free-thinking architect, in my humble opinion. He was from Barcelona, Antonio Gaudi. You ever see any Gaudi work? It's like he took a clue from Dr. Seuss. Gaudi's work is great, and Goldberg loved that Antonio Gaudi quote. Gaudi did all kinds of curved buildings, and he would write. Took my tour. I found out the White Castle restaurant design and 311 South Wacker were both modeled after the water tower, your visitor center, which escaped the fire. So when you get over to Michigan and Chicago, look for something like this, only in yellow. Ask them if they have it in yellow, and you'll find it. Gaze up at the sheer face. War, Veterans Memorial, and Wall. It is a favorite of Chicagoans for a moment of quiet repose. Coming up on our right, like an Apollo rocket, the skinniest skyscraper in Chicago, 75 East Wacker Drive. It's only 9.5 feet across that octagonal crown. Except for the crown of painted steel, the rest is terracotta. You know, they took the crown off, I think it was my second year on the river, 2002, and they brought it back by helicopter. It's pretty cool, reattached it by a helicopter. And you notice how the people say, I will. The river runs downhill. The river runs downhill. The people say, I will. And I'm Chicago bound. Welcome to Chicago.
Hi everybody, I just want to ask one of my testimonials that was done as far as sciatic nerve, and this is a nerve that basically has a lot of people complain about that it bothers them. So I'm gonna talk about Shirley. Shirley's my friend over here, and she has had that sciatic nerve problem, and she did take it, the black seed oil, for a week. No, she took it for a month. So I'm going to let her give some information about it. Now I'm just going to ask questions about it. And so, like, Shirley, when you took the sciatic nerve, how did it work for you?
It worked for me very well. I was having excruciating pain. And I didn't really initially didn't know where it was coming from, because I've never had that kind of pain before. And then, Gwen had told me about this black seed oil, and she told me to try that. And I did. I tried it for, after a couple of weeks, I could feel the difference in the way that I felt. But then after I took it for a whole month, the symptoms that I had, began to, just fade away. And now that's been over a year ago, and I don't have any kind of pain that I had back during that time. And I would recommend this black seed oil to anyone that is hurting, that has any kind of pain that would be in their leg or their hip, or like mine was, like in the side of my buttocks all the way down to the back of my leg. And it just works miracles. And so I truly recommend it. I'm not just saying this just to say it, because I don't lie about my pain, and it really did help me. And so I recommend it, and I am so grateful to Gwen for sharing it with me.
Okay, thanks, Shirley. Another thing is I want to point out was that Shirley basically took it for a month, because that was how much she had. And after she had told me, after she had finished taking the whole bottle, she didn't get any more, and she didn't get any more because she wasn't feeling the pain anymore. So it seems as though she didn't need it anymore, because the black seed oil just kind of resolved her issue, and she didn't have to. And so it's been a year later, right? And she hadn't had any need to purchase it anymore.
But if I'm hoping that I never have that kind of pain again, but if I do, I will be in contact with Gwen regarding that black seed oil, because it truly is a miracle.
Yeah, and so like, I'm just gonna say happy anniversary with no pain, Shirley, and that this is her anniversary month. I think she started this time that year, and I'm so glad that because I saw her excruciating pain, because we went over there for dinner for you, and she cooked dinner for Thanksgiving dinner, and she could not finish the dinner because her pain was so bad. And so I knew I just had to ask her if she could try this, and I'm glad that she did. She's glad she did. And so like, we're just saying that you should try it too, because it will make a difference in any kind of pain that you have. It will do that good for you in eliminating that pain. And like she had said, she ran out of the bottle, and she didn't really have to buy another because it basically has corrected itself. And she started not using anything. I think she came to me not once saying that you needed it.
Right.
Okay, so I just wanted to thank Shirley for giving her testimony, and hopefully somebody will listen to what she is saying. And if you have a story that you want to tell as far as excruciating pain and how it has helped you, please definitely write a comment and maybe describe. Sorry. I would like for you to subscribe, and we'll give you some information of any kind of other videos that come up by hitting the bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.